All right. Market recap here, all right? 337. Um, Everybody saw what happened here, right? So took a hit today. I want to start with the SPY. I like to go back to the scene of the crime. So this is kind of where it all got. This is where things went bad. So you got this two twos, right? And then you get this outsider, which ends up shooter, and then comes in there and boom. All right, so it was the three that triggered 2 down. Okay, so chopped here a little bit at the end of the day. Now they're trying to pop up a little bit on the overnight, but seeing the needle and the damage done. All right, so broadening formation here on the daily. We still haven't gotten our work done. So to triangle this thing out, broadening formation, we got to get back down to 577.04. Okay, so we do have shooter down day. We do got a really nice shooter down on the week. Okay, now that won't go into force until the next week, until we close out. And we took a hit off the month. We took a little bit of chunk off the month here, and we could look for a continuation to the downside here with the shooter coming down here. All right, so we'll see. This is still a bullish. This is still bullish because it came out green there. So, and we'll see how it goes. We hit them. They hit them pretty good here. All right, so we're going to see what SPY wants to do from there. I have really no actionable signals here except for this 60 and this 90 minute. And these 90 minutes get trapped in there a lot just because it's a big time frame. It's 96 minutes. All right, so that's the SPY. That's where the hit came down from. Qs, interestingly enough, Qs were 313 up on the day, and I had my number on Qs today was 523.76. I had that out on Twitter this morning for resistance, and we got to 523 even, so we were pretty close on that number. Got to 523 was the high of the day. All right, on the triple Qs. All right, same kind of setup with the 322. Okay, so they both set up the same way, with the 322 down and then chopping. We got a real nice shooter down. You still got a month that's holding pretty good. Okay, broadening formation coming down would be here. That's the way I'm looking at it. 501 if they want to continue to see what they want to do. All right, that would be broadening formation come down, and then we can find price and see where we move on from there. We'll see what happens. But what I want to do say, oddly enough, look at this. So this was our month here, right? We were up to 523.54. Notice today where we closed at 513.04. You see that? That's the high, 513.04. It came to the number. Check that out. That's pretty cool. All right, so closed at 513.04, and that's our high for that month at 513.04. So pretty interesting how that worked out. Shooter coming down on the week. Again, we got time with that. We got a really nice shooter here. Now we wait to see if these are going to go into force tomorrow, and if something starts to happen there. If we start to break a little bit more here, diamonds, just it's just garbage all day, man. We're not trading well at all from the very beginning of the day. It was chop. It was the 322 back down here as well. So it made the move back to the downside. I got an actionable signal right here with a shooter coming down. We'll see if that can trigger and come back in. But that's still kind of a bullish. Signal right there. All right. So and I got a nice shooter coming down on the week. Okay, so diamonds kind of did their job, came down and took all this out now. And now if it wants to advance, it's going to start to come right back inside here. We'll see if they want to try to get any more out of that. All right, we do have that actionable signal inside on the 1 there. So that's what we got. Just got to make a point of the VIX here. VIX coming back up even higher here on the overnight now. Here we are. We're back up to a $20 VIX. Okay, so just making it a wearing. I want people to know that it's here. It's got a beautiful hammer going on the week here with 2 days to go. And there's your day up, kind of triangled out this whole daily thing right here. Okay, so this move here kind of took out all that. All right, this is the next, if you want to start going after this stuff, then we'll see what happens from there. All right, but she came back inside. She got an actionable signal there. It's not a hammer. It's nothing. And I got the inside 1 here on the 90. And there's your month. We got nowhere near with the months going anywhere. Okay, so nothing really to talk about there. We go to Meta. Talk about the Mag 7, which we talked about yesterday, and we were talking about how we're going to get there, this and that. So Meta today had that 3 up. I tell you, Rob would be ecstatic today with that Qs, with that reversal coming back down on that 3. He would have loved that. All right, so had that thing up to 645.99, and then puked it all back out. All right, so the Qs as well. He would have loved that one. You know, they do it again, do it again, do it again. All right, so we finished. We're still stuck inside week here. We still got, just getting it more difficult. More time is going to go by, because I was talking about how we could end up being inside on the month here. All right, so we chopped away here a little bit. We were a lot closer. So after today, we gave up a lot. 213. We haven't really triangled anything out here yet. Okay, we'd have to get back down to 620, 40-ish if we wanted to triangle out this whole thing coming back down. All right, these islands are silly. But this is what we got right now. So to triangle out, we'd have to get back down to 619.31. I'm just eyeballing it there, but you kind of get the idea. We got an actionable signal inside there, and we've already had this inside week, and we haven't been able to move. I said the more time that we sit in there is the more time that we lose, because now we've got 2 days left, and we got 4 days next week, so we're really down to 6 days now. All right, before we get a new month, which is going to come on June 2nd. You got an actionable signal inside the 1, but I don't really count that one that much. Apple, man, I don't know, man. Just like I said yesterday, if we take this day out, then all bets are off, and all bets are off. 212 back down now. If I was a betting man, I'd say to get this thing right, we got to get back down here. All right, that's my thoughts. Down to 189.81. I'd say that I could, maybe that's enough. No, it's not enough. This thing is not right. It's not getting right. This thing needs to get knocked silly before it's going to get right. Now, some news might come out on it too. We got to keep an eye on it. Something might come out. So we'll see. But I think this is my perfect place to go. I think we get there. I think she's right, and then start to climb back up from there. All right, you're still stuck inside the month. You can't triangle out the month you're in. We lost some more again today. 2 down on the week now. Okay. If they want to do their job, it's 193.37. That would be our next magnitude coming down there. All right, inside on the 1 as usual, and I got a 60 that's inside, so it could be a 2-1. That could reverse either way coming in tomorrow. We'll see. Maybe a little exhaustion risk on the downside with Apple, but I don't know. Like I said, didn't hold that day. That's it. Next stop is here. than there. That's my thoughts. Apple, garbage. All right, Microsoft. Microsoft, I made some money on Microsoft today on the way up here. And then, the nonsense began here on this hour. All right, so the two came back inside. Here's your 212. It didn't take a higher high. All right, so it's a shooter down on day. All right, if that goes into force, that could start to break. All right, first job would be we put down to 450.39. All right, so that's about $2 and change. You got a nice shooter down coming off of the highs of the broadening formation. This is very important to watch this. Okay, what I would like to see is I'd like to see a bar that would come up and make a little bit higher, and then break down. But we got a shooter coming off the top of the broadening formation. That is important to watch. It is green, which means it's still positive. All right, it's still bullish. Okay, but we'll wait and see. 1-1 at the end of the day. They didn't know what to do. They just kind of sitting there and they were puking. And there's your inside one. Not much else to talk about there. Microsoft, Amazon. I was in Amazon today too. I was lucky to not get involved in any of this business, but the same problem happened here, right? You had the 2 month up. Now you've come in pretty good. Coming back down. All right, 2 down. This thing's already been heading down. So next stop on Amazon is back down to here, 194.85. We'll see. I don't really have a shooter there. That's just a doji. We got an insider here on the 60. So that could flip some way or another way. And then you got the shooter coming down on the 90-minute. All right, so we'll see what happens there. I don't know about that. Google was good and it finished strong. I mean, it's still up on the day, up 4.74%. Kind of puked it up at the end here, coming back down. I think he fucking held up pretty good considering what happened. So look at the day, all right? The day, it's not a shooter. It's just a 2. That's all it is. It's a 3-2. Trying to get that 2 month. Not able to get it. What you doing? You're burning time. All right, so we'll wait and see what Google brings tomorrow. Looks like so far since in the after hours, there's not much. It's a little bit lower. All right, Google nice day, and until that happened, and it still survived it pretty well. I thought the day's still pretty green. Now, everybody else is not like that. All right, so that's Google. Tesla wasn't really doing too much. Was down $9 with the move. Other than that, it puked out in the morning and it recovered. It got the 2-2 back up. All right, and then this all came in. So now you got an actionable signal coming down here. We already know that we can't get that. We talked about this, so I think it was $50. I think we're around $63 now if you want to try to get back up and take that month. All right, so that has gotten more difficult, but you're also going for a 3 month, so you're asking for a lot anyway. Looking for this to all triangle out, come on back down. All right, I was talking about Tesla the other day. I'd like her to come back much more. Now, probably not going to happen. But our next target is here, right here on a daily, 317. That's not horribly far away, especially if the markets want to show up tomorrow with what we got. We got that VIX sitting at $20, so be careful. All right, shoot her down on the week, but ain't gonna close yet. All right, still got 2 days to go. They got nothing other actionable right now. All right, I got a 1 in here, but we'll always get 1s in those 90s, so remember that. And then you got the, excuse me, you got the 1 coming back down inside on the 60, so we'll see if that might cause some trouble. But more than likely, NVIDIA had a real good start to the day. NVIDIA just came out ripping, right? 322. We get the reversal, takes it all out, comes back in. You got an actionable signal here. That's a shooter coming down. This is a shooter coming down, even though it's wicked. And then this is a shooter coming down on your 3 coming down. So broadening formation tells me you need to come back down here to 125 and change. All right. Will that go into force? I mean, that's not a great. I'm picky again. I'm picky about it. Inside on the 1. Okay. There's NVIDIA. And then the MAGS, MAGS, is same here. Same business. The 2222. Everybody got that inside 60 to finish the day. You got that shooter coming down. What I guess what I'm saying is that we're losing time trying to get these things to finish up to and get them buttoned up like I talked about with Sneaky Pete, but we're moving away from there now. We do have 6 days, but guess what? We're coming into the last 2 days of the week. Volume's probably going to start to drop. People are leaving. It's Memorial Day weekend, and then we'll be back on Tuesday, and we'll see what's going to happen there. So, yeah, the next couple days, especially after this move, who knows? I mean, maybe passes this tax bill or something, and we get a little rally from that. That could happen. That something like that could happen. So I really kind of wanted to go through the Mag 7 and look at those. Gold had a couple other just mentionables here. Gold had another 2 day up on the gold, so look for continuation to the upside there. I think GDX got a little tired. It was up like 2 point something percent, and it was up another 1% today, but she came down at the end of the day. That's coming off of the broadening formation on the hourly, so watch out for that. That could be a 2-2 back down. That's a pivot. All right, you'll hear me talk about pivots, and that is definitely a pivot. So I would, when I see a pivot, this is where I look for. Triangle out. Come on back down here to 49.22, as you can see right there. All right, so that's a shooter coming down here on the 60. That could break for us. The day is good. We're trying to triangle out that month at 50.77, I believe. The real number's 50.83. All right, we're just trying to triangle out the month that we're in. All right, so maybe you get this triangle back down here, and then you might get the momentum to go back and get this. All right, before the month ends. Okay. Because what I would say is before, I'd like the Mag 7 to all end up in 1s at the month, because then there's opportunity for change. All right, if they can get, especially if they got all inside there. And GDX is inside on the 90-minute as usual. You're going to see that a lot. All right, so I think I'm going to leave it there. NASDAQ closed on the lows. SPX did not close on the lows. It lipped up a little bit, and Diamonds closed on the lows on the cash. All right. So how about you have a nice evening, and we'll get at it tomorrow, and we'll see what happens. All right. So everybody have a good night, and be good. Be good.